We are back, YouTubers, for another episode here on ESGNet of NBA 2K15 MyGM with the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is episode 12, and we're getting ready for a game here against the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the last time these two met were back in the last episode. It was episode 9, and we played them. As you see there, the bottom left-hand side of the screen there, we won that game 87-86. Now, that was a nail-biter there. We had a little trouble there towards the end, and they came back because of fouls and made their shots there. So we cannot let that happen this time as we play against them here at home now. So we played against them in Milwaukee, and now we get to play against them at home on our home court. Now, the consensus pick says that it's going to be the Thunder going to win this one. Hopefully, that will be the chance here for us to pick up a win. Of course, the last 10 games we've actually simmed here. We showed you guys that in the last episode. We went 5-5 there, and hoping that we can turn things around here, as we have just been not playing so well here as of late. So the Bucks haven't played as well either. They're on a 4-game losing streak here. And there you see 8-14 for them for the season. Last 10 games are 4-6, and so they're going to be looking for a win as just as bad as we are. So there you see the injury report here. We get Kevin Durant here in about a week or two here. And of course, Jeremy Lamb out for 6 to 8 weeks, and Jones, they're out for anywhere from 8 to 10 weeks. Now, we're looking at some trades here, and the guy that we want to trade is no other than Kendrick Perkins. Now, we went ahead, I think in the last episode, I think I showed you guys, we went ahead and gave Nick Collison an extension on his contract here. So now we have to get rid of Perkins. So we got to try to see if we can get him into put him in the East there, and we got to find a team that's suitable for him, so it can be an even trade-off for us, and also puts us in position here. Of course, we don't want to send him, keep him in the West, because we don't want him to come back and come back on us or anything like that, be dominant and whatnot with another team in the West. So we got to try to see if we can ship him off somewhere else, and of course we're going to continue doing that throughout the first half of the season. So we'll go ahead here, get to the court, but first we got a little pregame show with Shaq.
The 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Sprite.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Thanks for being with us. Shaquille O'Neal joins me. Tonight we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Milwaukee Bucks. And taking a look here at the Bucks, the season hasn't gone as smoothly for them as I'm sure they hoped it would. The good news is we still have a good chunk of it left to play, but if they're going to make a run, they better do it soon. Hey, Shaq, let's talk about Russell Westbrook. Maybe not a true point guard, learning the position still at this stage of his career, but certainly there are few players as dynamic in the NBA.
Ernie, this guy is the most physically gifted point guard the league has ever seen. Incredible explosiveness to go with stamina and durability. He's a force of nature, Ernie.
What does he still have to learn as a point guard?
As a point guard, he has to learn to get his teammates involved, make his teammates better, and he has to pick and choose when he wants to score. He can't score all the points.
Would you like to have played with Russell Westbrook?
Of course not, Ernie. He shoots too much.
And what would your message to Russell be?
Give me the ball.
Whatever.
I'm a prolific scorer, Ernie.
In fact, the most prolific scorer.
That's right.
Or a prolific MF scorer.
Yeah,
well,
most frequently. Most frequently.
Uh-huh.
It's a children's game, Ernie, most frequently.
Kevin Harlan standing by with the call. Kev.
The Bucks continue their journey as they play an interconference matchup on the road. We've got some terrific NBA action in store for you today. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. For the season series between these two teams, the Bucks came away empty-handed in the last matchup against the Thunder.
Well, they hung in there for a long time in that game, just giving themselves a chance to win at the end. But when it mattered the most, they stumbled.
Yeah, and those are the hardest losses to stomach, guys. I mean, when you play well throughout the game and then get derailed by a few missed opportunities down the stretch, that's painful.
Here are the starters for Milwaukee. Ilyasova and Sanders in the middle. Nate Walters out there with Brandon Knight. And it's Antetokounmpo in at the 3.
You know, the Bucks really struggled last season, and it started with their offense. They just could not score points in an efficient manner and keep up with their opponents.
So it's the Bucks now. It's a 3-point game. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
And it wasn't just bad shooting. I mean, they weren't getting good looks. The offense wasn't clicking, no ball movement, very stagnant performance.
Yeah, I agree. The reason for that, I think, was their movement away from the ball. Not very crisp.
Here's Morrow after the basket by Milwaukee. Here's Perkins. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
If you just look at the numbers, you are not seeing the real impact of Kendrick Perkins. I mean, he is just this mountain at the rim as a protector of the paint. And it really makes it hard for opponents to get easy shots because of his presence.
You know, Steve, with Perkins, the defense at the rim might be the best thing he brings to the table. He is a solid defensive player for sure all around, but his ability to make life miserable on inside shots is special.
Well, I think he's one of the elite low-post defenders in the league. You know, when he has to go against the big scorers down on the block, whether it's Tim Duncan or Hibbert, he does as good a job as anybody because of his strength and his intelligence, just understanding what he's facing night in and night out.
And he can't hit the second.
You know, the NBA is a talent league, and it's hard to win in the NBA without superstar talent. And the Thunder are fortunate to have 2 superstars in Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Those 2 give them a chance to win no matter who they're facing up against or where they're playing.
About a minute and a half through the first quarter. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Out to the right wing. Ilyasova inside the line. Gets to the corner and buries it. Ilyasova's got his first bucket in this one. And you look at the star talent for Oklahoma City, the eternal what if. Steve, how would this team be different if they'd held on to James Harden?
Well, that's the question. I mean, to have 3 superstars, they would have been unstoppable offensively. As it is, they're hard enough to guard. But, you know, that's a question that will remain, you know, forever unanswered. See the way he times his passes so well? That was a great assist.
Well, it was the Oklahoma City Thunder in their last game, a loss to the Detroit Pistons.
And guys, they were really plagued by foul trouble in that one. Forced them into some makeshift lineups late in the game.
And Steve, the frustrating part for me in that situation is you can defend without fouling. Just move your feet and don't use your hands.
Bucks trail by 3. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes played. Knight passes to Walters. Offensive rebound.
And a nice soft touch on the boards.
And you know, when you have that gentle a touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by.
Well, easy points, free points for a guy with that kind of strength and agility in the paint. You got to go for every second chance opportunity.
Here's Thomas. After the basket by Larry Sanders. Back to Westbrook. 3-pointer. And Sanders pulls it down. For Milwaukee, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Here's Knight. Rejected by Ibaka. And they get it back. Antetokounmpo can't get it to go.
He doesn't really scare a defense at all. You've seen him miss quite a few just like those.
Westbrook kicks to Thomas. Here's Morrow. 20 points for him last game against the Pistons in Detroit.
And how about his defense? 4 steals on the night. He was so aggressive.
The Bucks trail. Now here's Sanders. Here's Walters. Right now averaging 5 points a game. That puts them in the lead. Knight's got his second bucket tonight.
Fantastic pass. He turned that one into a pretty easy basket for his teammate.
Westbrook dishes to Perkins. Right block shot, and that one's good. Milwaukee's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Tipped away. And now it's Westbrook running. He can go all the way.
Oh, ridiculous.
What a move.
Tore it down that time.
Wow, we're going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Kevin. That was special.
Oh, man, that was a circus dunk.
And the Bucks with possession here, following the score by Oklahoma City. Here's Antetokounmpo. He's guarded by Thomas. Puts up the baby hook. Sanders' shot is off.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's a physical game, and so far the numbers show that they've got the edge on the glass.
Bucks trail by 3. Antetokounmpo kicks to Knight and stolen by Thomas. Right side, Thomas. Perkins with the screen for Thomas. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
The Thunder weren't the best team in the West against the East last year, but they didn't need to be. They still dominated the conference overall.
A 23-7 record for the Thunder against the East. There are just too many stars, particularly the 2 big ones, Durant and Westbrook. They give the Thunder so much firepower, and it makes it hard for just about every team in the league to deal with Oklahoma City.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City, Steven Adams comes in for Kendrick Perkins, and Reggie Jackson subbed in for Anthony Morrow. Milwaukee also making some changes. John Henson's checked in for Sanders, and Parker subbed in for Antetokounmpo. And both free throws good for Thomas. You know, Steve, the Thunder are going to be a factor when they are healthy.
And when they're at full force, I mean, there are only a handful of teams in the East that can match up with them. Really only a handful of teams in the whole league.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game.
Well, I felt like his defense was letting him down out there, guys, so he wanted to get a timeout to talk it over and try to tighten things up here.
You know, a part of coaching, a lot of coaching actually, is making sure that momentum never gets too far away from your team. That's a good timeout.
Bucks trail by 5. Knight passes to Parker. Shoots from the baseline. Good.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Thunder have gotten 5 of 10 shots to drop in this game so far. Right at the 50% mark. Thomas kicks to Westbrook. Ibaka with a screen on Knight. And Westbrook, here we go, misses from close range.
Steve, they've come out with the take-no-prisoners approach on the glass today.
Yeah, it's impressive, too. Clark's already gotten them a +5 margin in the rebound column. Gotta love the use of the bounce pass there. Perfect feed.
Here's Westbrook. Jabari Parker making his last shot. Here's Ibaka, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. Ibaka's got his second bucket of the night. Bucks trail by 3. Knight with it. Westbrook picks him up. Westbrook with the steal. Here's Ibaka, and he bangs it home with one hand.
Well, this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
Here's Walters. The Thunder making the shot. 6 on the shot clock, and it's blocked by Ibaka. And the block shot turns into a shooting foul. So the defensive effort there a bit too much, as the officials will send him to the line, and he'll shoot some free throws. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Thunder.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
Well, the other thing they've done well is getting after shooters. They've closed out well, and they've really blocked a lot of shots in the half.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Collison comes in for Serge Ibaka. And it's Telfair in for Russell Westbrook. Chris Middleton's checked in for Milwaukee. Kendall Marshall comes in for Nate Walters. Good on the second free throw. Well, the Bucks last season with one of the worst records guys in the NBA, almost despite themselves.
Yeah, a rare high draft pick for a team that's never shown much appetite for rebuilding. Now they find themselves with some gifted young talent.
Bucks trail by 7. Now Marshall. Out to the wing. Middleton dishes to Parker. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
Tell you, the defense was right there, just waiting, doing a nice job of anticipating that play.
Steve, every team needs tough interior defense to be successful.
Now here's Jackson. His last outing with 20 points. And the basket by Thomas.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding. They are piling up the assists.
Here's Marshall. Henson with it. Middleton the pass to Parker. That's good. Parker's got 6. A minute 50 left in the first quarter of the game. Jackson kicks to Thomas. Here's Telfair. That's good. And it's Thomas picking up the assist. And the Thunder lead by 11.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
That was the 9th straight point from behind the arc, Clark. It feels like they're finding the holes in this defense.
Now, here's Marshall. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Dishes to Middleton. Shot clock at 6. Drills the three-pointer.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Jason Kidd. What'd you find out, Doris?
Kevin, he knows they're facing a team that has explosive finishers and can swing momentum in their favor with huge dunks. Because of this, he said, they're going to try to turn this team into a jump shooting team by collapsing on defense. Good strategy, Kevin.
And thank you for that, Doris.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
Yeah, they're making the right play, they're working together, and they're just looking for the best shot they can every possession.
Here's Middleton, averaging 9 points per contest. The shot's good from Henson.
What a start they've gotten off to on the glass. I mean, they've come out banging.
And when a game starts off like this, there's an intimidation factor that comes into play.
Now here's Jackson, right now averaging 11 points a game. The putback cleans up the mess with the savage putback flush.
Now, defensively, they have to pick up the intensity and close out on shooters.
Steve, you're right. I mean, they're getting picked apart out there, and the intensity on D's got to pick up as well. I mean, you can't have it on cruise control on defense.
And so it's Milwaukee with it. The Thunder making the shot. Knight kicks to Marshall. Pass to Middleton. Fires for 3. The dish now to Marshall. He feeds it to Knight. That falls. Great assist by Marshall. Knight's got 7 points in the game.
Boy, this game is off to a terrific start.
No doubt. On both sides, high-octane offense.
The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. Thunder lead by 7. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute.
Friday, December 12th, Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers take on John Wall and the Washington Wizards. Live from Verizon Center. Don't miss it.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. What do you guys think about the Thunder here in this one?
Boy, a ton of threes in that first quarter. This team really lighting it up, guys.
Yeah, it's been an onslaught from downtown.
Bucks trail by 7. Baca at the 4 with Perkins at the pivot. Telfair is out there with Jackson. And it's Morrow in at the small forward. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Walters, no good. Oklahoma City's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly.
Nate Walters with an impressive rookie season for a second-round pick. Started about half of the season for the Bucks, and I thought played with great composure, especially for a young player.
Here's Antetokounmpo. He kicks to Marshall. And there's the call on Anthony Morrow. That's his first foul. And the Thunder making a switch here. Westbrook's checked in.
Now in the lineup for your Thunder, Russell Westbrook.
Oklahoma City on D. They've led by as many as 11 points. And Walters, a low mistake rookie, took care of the ball and set up his teammates.
You know, he focused really on making a simple play, and that's a good lesson for young players to learn. You're trying to find your way into the league. When you get opportunities, contribute and don't make mistakes.
Here's Marshall, following the score by Serge Ibaka. It's Parker with the drive. Using his post moves to get the 2 points. Parker's got 8 points. And here's Westbrook. 32 points for him last game against Detroit. Second quarter of action, about a minute and a half played. 6 to shoot. Outside Jackson. Westbrook up top. He's got 5, and it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. Ilyasova, he's checked in for the Bucks. Bucks trail by 7. Marshall dishes to Sanders. Pass to Marshall. Ilyasova against Ibaka. Clock at 6. Walters passes to Antetokounmpo. Banked in off the glass. Antetokounmpo's got his first 2 points. Oklahoma City leading by 5. Westbrook kicks to Morrow. 3-pointer. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got his 4th assist in this one. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And Marshall kicks to Walters. Six to shoot. Russell Westbrook with the rebound. Westbrook's got his 3rd rebound tonight. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. Sanders against Ibaka, and that one's good. And now a 10-point Thunder lead.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
Timeout called the Bucks. Russell Westbrook returning last season from a torn meniscus suffered in the first round, Steve, of the 2013 playoffs.
Yeah, and you know, the injury ended up requiring 3 different surgeries over an 8-month span, so a real scare for the Thunder. Fortunately, you know, he came back and looked fantastic in the playoffs, and so there's less concern now over Westbrook's long-term health.
Some good defense in the NBA, so let's check out the leaders. The Thunder in fourth.
This is a team that really competes at the defensive end of the floor, guys. They play hard and they play together. They are really tough to score upon.
Bucks trail by 10.
And Westbrook is a player not only known for his explosiveness, but also his durability. He hadn't missed a game due to injury ever, dating back to high school. But a freak accident, that collision with Patrick Beverley, really took it out of his hands in terms of his consecutive games played streak.
Shots good by Ibaka. The Bucks have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. In low to Sanders, and he uses both hands to jam it in.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam, you're right.
If he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will really start shrinking.
Marshall with the steal. Here's Antetokounmpo, defended by Ibaka. Lots of room. A second chance effort. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence. Ersan Ilyasova struggling through a rough season in 2013-14, probably the worst shooting of his career, really. And his rebounding also fell off. Those were the strengths of his game. He's got to find it again. He's got to bring that effort and energy back to the game.
Now here's Westbrook. He has 5. To the right side. 17-foot shot on the way. No good from Perkins. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, guys, Kevin Durant, after his finals loss in 2011, hired his own analytics expert. Together, they studied video and stats to analyze which are his best spots on the floor. And most shots for KD are good, but he wants great ones. And Kevin, since that time, KD's scoring efficiency has gone from good to phenomenal.
And in 2012-13, he became the 7th player Clark ever to tally a 50, 40, 90 season.
KD joining his role model, Larry Bird. Something special. Thanks, Doris.
Both shots good from the stripe. And Ilyasova with a big contract now. He's had 2 very good seasons over the last couple of years.
And Kevin, you know the question will be, was that the high water mark for his career, or can Ilyasova find a way to get back to that level of production? Time will tell.
The Thunder leading by 7. Westbrook dishes to Morrow. Kicks to Perkins. Hits the jump hook. Perkins got his second basket of the night. Here's Walters. The pass to Marshall. He dishes it to Sanders. Westbrook pulls it in. Westbrook's got 4 rebounds in this game. Right wing. Outside Jackson. Here's the teardrop, and he gets the bucket. Jackson's got the lead up to 11 now for the Thunder.
You know, size-wise, this is not a great one-on-one matchup for him, but he got that shot to go.
But you wouldn't know it by how he finished. That's a nice hoop there.
Here's Antetokounmpo, right now averaging 7 points a game. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
And a new group in here for the Thunder. Adams, he's checked in for Perkins. Collison comes in for Serge Ibaka. Thomas checked in for Anthony Morrow. And it's Telfair in for Jackson. The Bucks also changing it up. John Henson's checked in for Sanders. Chris Middleton comes in for Antetokounmpo, and it's Brandon Knight in for Kendall Marshall.
Virtually uncontested. It's nice to be able to add to the lead without really having to work for it.
Bucks trail by 10. Knight passes to Walters. Knight kicks to Ilyasova. The feed to Walters. Here's Middleton. 9-point game his last outing. Just 3 to shoot. Here's Henson. Nice pass. Nice catch and a resounding dunk. Well, as far as the defense goes, Clark, that is not what's going to keep them in this league.
Yeah, but from the other perspective, you can see just how much that dunk pumped those players up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree, guys. I sense a little bit of a momentum shift here.
When you face the Oklahoma City Thunder, one of the things defensively that you have to prioritize is keeping them out of transition. This team is long and athletic, and if they get out in the open court, you're in big trouble.
Here's Westbrook. Brandon Knight picking up that last basket. Thomas kicks to Telfair. They get it back, and that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
Well, it's become one of the stories of the first half, Clark, just piling up points in the paint.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time.
As that's his 4th giveaway. He really needs to be more efficient with the ball in his hands.
Milwaukee making a switch here. Parker's checked in. Here's Westbrook. He's got 7. Collison with the screen for Westbrook. And it's blocked by Henson. Here's Knight, and there are the Bucks with another bucket.
His shooting has been...
We are back, YouTubers, for another episode here on ESGNet of NBA 2K15 MyGM with the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is episode 12, and we're getting ready for a game here against the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the last time these two met were back in the last episode. It was episode 9, and we played them. As you see there, the bottom left-hand side of the screen there, we won that game 87-86. Now, that was a nail-biter there. We had a little trouble there towards the end, and they came back because of fouls and made their shots there. So we cannot let that happen this time as we play against them here at home now. So we played against them in Milwaukee, and now we get to play against them at home on our home court. Now, the consensus pick says that it's going to be the Thunder going to win this one. Hopefully that will be the chance here for us to pick up a win. Of course, the last 10 games we've actually simmed here. We showed you guys that in the last episode. We went 5-5 there, and hoping that we can turn things around here, as we have just been not playing so well here as of late. So the Bucks haven't played as well either. They're on a 4-game losing streak here. And there you see 8-14 for them for the season. Last 10 games are 4-6, and so they're going to be looking for a win as just as bad as we are. So there you see the injury report here. We get Kevin Durant here in about a week or 2 here. And of course, Jeremy Lamb out for 6 to 8 weeks, and Jones, they're out for anywhere from 8 to 10 weeks. Now, we're looking at some trades here, and the guy that we want to trade is no other than Kendrick Perkins. Now, we went ahead, I think in the last episode, I think I showed you guys, we went ahead and gave Nick Collison an extension on his contract here. So now we have to get rid of Perkins. So we got to try to see if we can get him into put him in the East there, and we got to find a team that's suitable for him, so it can be an even trade-off for us, and also puts us in position here. Of course, we don't want to send him, keep him in the West, because we don't want him to come back and come back on us or anything like that. Be dominant and whatnot with another team in the West. So we got to try to see if we can ship him off somewhere else. And of course, we're going to continue doing that throughout the first half of the season. So we'll go ahead here and get to the court. But first, we got a little pregame show with Shaq.
The 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Sprite.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Thanks for being with us. Shaquille O'Neal joins me. Tonight we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Milwaukee Bucks. And taking a look here at the Bucks, the season hasn't gone as smoothly for them as I'm sure they hoped it would. The good news is we still have a good chunk of it left to play. But if they're going to make a run, they better do it soon. Hey, Shaq, let's talk about Russell Westbrook. Maybe not a true point guard, learning the position still at this stage of his career, but certainly there are few players as dynamic in the NBA.
Ernie, this guy is the most physically gifted point guard the league has ever seen. Incredible explosiveness to go with stamina and durability. He's a force of nature, Ernie.
What does he still have to learn as a point guard?
As a point guard, he has to learn to get his teammates involved, make his teammates better, and he has to pick and choose when he wants to score. He can't score.
Well, 10 of their last 12 points have come off of assists.
Here is Telfair, right now averaging 5 points a game. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Goes up from the top of the key. Collison, no good.
What was the defense doing there? I mean, he is not the guy to give an open look to, and yet they got away with it.
That'll do it for the first half. It's the Thunder leading by 8. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Scott, what exactly are they doing to take away your transition game?
They're doing a great job of getting back. That's what they do. We just have to make sure we get stops first and then the front out.
Scott, thank you, guys. Job one against this team. Get them out of transition.
All right, Doris, thank you. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter. All right, the second half beginning in just a moment.
He's been absolutely in control. No slowing down for Thomas. 15 points, and the three-pointers have been dropping for him. He's got 3 of them.
Well, as long as he's continuing to make them, I think they should make him more of a focal point of this offense.
Bucks trail by 8. Getting underway in the second half. Here's the 5 for Jason Kidd. Ilyasova and Sanders in the middle. Walters out there with Brandon Knight. And it's Antetokounmpo in at the 3. Oklahoma City's gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. They're 6 of 13.
Well, the Bucks combination of John Henson, Larry Sanders, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, a combined wingspan of over 22 feet. That's some terrific defensive potential with that group.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Coach Jason Kidd taking over a young roster in Milwaukee. He said it's a lot of teaching. It's a process. These are young men that know how to play the game, but the NBA game is different. We want to get guys in big games so they can learn how to handle those situations. We feel we can do better than last year, and we will. Can he deliver, Kevin?
Great. Thanks, Doris. Well, for the Bucks, you talk about Henson and Sanders and Giannis. All have shown some great signs early in their career, Steve, with the Bucks.
Yeah, at times it can be tough to predict which way the Bucks will go, but those 3 seem like an exciting foundation for the future.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Here's Walters, right on the wing. To the wing on the left. And Sanders kicks to Walters. 5 to shoot. Here's Antetokounmpo. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. And here we go with Westbrook running it up the court. Thomas's shot is off.
He's far too tentative in the paint, and even more so when the defender is up tight on him like that time.
And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds.
Kevin, let's take a look at what the Oklahoma Thunder did over the last month in the league rankings. Second in steals, third in field goal percentage. You know, they also show up in the top 5 in opponent scoring. That's a good number, and that's a good place to be as a team in that statistical category.
Yeah, they just play hard, Clark. They play hard every single night, and that's really shown in those steals totals that you talked about. They really attack the offense. They try to make every possession a difficult one. And when they're on their game, they're forcing turnovers, creating havoc, and then getting out in transition. And now look at Brandon Knight here. Going well for him this season. He's averaging 15 points per game, 8 assists and 3 rebounds. And those are tremendous assist totals. You don't even need the numbers, really, to see just how confident he is with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, that's really accurate, Steve. I mean, he is loving playing the quarterback for them.
Timeout called the Bucks. Without question, Serge Ibaka displaying his skills today.
They don't seem to have any answers for him. They need to review their game plan and look for a way to cool him off.
This is the 2K leaderboard with a rundown of the NBA's top defenders down low. The league's leaders in rejections this month. Serge Ibaka is second.
Boy, that is an impressive number. My goodness, can he keep that up? If he can, boy, he'll continue to have a humongous impact on his team.
Here's Walters, feeds to Antetokounmpo. Trying to find Ilyasova and gets it to him. Here's Sanders, and there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line.
Larry Sanders, mostly an at-the-rim finisher to this point in his career. He can complete plays off pick and rolls. His explosiveness, his length, I think really allows him to throw it down over the top of defenders.
Sanders, no good on the free throw.
Some solid play from Sanders in this one. He has 8 points and the 1 steal.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
And for Larry Sanders, you know, he's not the most effective player in isolation situation, but supposedly he's been working to expand his offensive repertoire, focusing on his mid-range shot and driving to the basket. We'll see if the fruit shows up in his work.
And Larry Sanders might be best served working on his free throw shot, Steve, shooting under 60% for his career and well under 50% last season.
No question, but Kevin, I think the Bucks, first and foremost, they hope he can recover his shot blocking form and rebounding from 2 seasons ago. That's what they really need out of him.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Jackson's checked in. And both free throws good for Thomas. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Here's Walters. Knight on the wing. Passes it to Ilyasova. Shot clock at 5. And it's off the back rim. No good. The Thunder leading by 11. Jackson kicks to Thomas. Dishes to Morrow. Oklahoma City moving it around. It's Jackson with the drive. It's Ibaka. That time on the assist by Jackson. Jackson's got 3 assists tonight.
You know, when he gets rolling, guys, he can be an absolute handful to have to deal with. And right now, he is rolling strong.
Here's Walters, guarded by Jackson. And Walters kicks to Ilyasova.
Ersan Ilyasova in his 7th season with the Bucks, the only player drafted in 2005 who's still with his original team. But growing tired of the teams losing, it's rumored that, well, last season anyway, he asked for a trade.
At the line for the Bucks, Ersan Ilyasova, taking 2 shots.
And he can't get the first one.
You know, you could tend to think of the Thunder as a top-heavy team with the all-stars they have, but they actually get a lot of production from their bench, which makes them a championship-caliber team.
Marshall, he's checked in for Nate Walters. A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Pass to Thomas. From deep. No luck. And Milwaukee the other way now.
Well, the three-pointer really isn't his game. I'd like to see him get closer to the hoop.
This Thunder team was very deep last year, as you said. They were third in the league, Steve, in bench minutes played.
And even though the bench wasn't really carrying the offensive load, you know, they were good defensively and they kept things close. Really, all they needed to do was eat minutes, and they did that a lot last year.
Now, here's Marshall. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. And stolen by Thomas. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. We'll look at Cleveland. They've got the #1 record in the conference, and because of it, each night out, their competition is going to bring it right at them. And, of course, Milwaukee, 8 games out.
You know, right now for the Bucks, they found wins really hard to come by. I mean, so far it's been the same story. They're one of the teams that is still looking for answers.
And after an offseason where they'd hoped they'd made some strides, the early returns have not been good, Clark. We'll see if they can get things heading in the right direction.
Now, here is Knight. He's got 13. And another shot, and that one's good. Knight's got 15 points.
How huge has he been, giving his team the lift?
Without his work offensively, Steve, I don't know where they'd be. Shooting at great efficiency, I don't think they'd have a chance without him.
Ibaka against Ilyasova, and he gets the bucket. 20 points for Serge Ibaka.
He's been so reliable again today, Kevin, and they need his points, and he's providing them.
Over in the corner, Marshall trying to find Ilyasova and gets it to him. And the shot is good.
They'll take as many of those looks as they can get.
The Thunder leading by 10. Out to the wing. Here's Morrow. He has 6. Perkins rejected by Sanders.
You know, normally when you dominate on the glass, it really shows up on the scoreboard, but not so much here today.
You're right, Steve. Typically, it is a good barometer that indicates who's winning, but not so.
Now here's Jackson. Kendall Marshall unable to get his shot to go. Perkins inside. Sanders covering. Perkins with the bucket. Now a timeout. Adams, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Telfair comes in for Lance Thomas. Milwaukee also making some changes. John Henson's checked in for Sanders. Parker comes in for Ilyasova. And Middleton subbed in for Marshall. Bucks trail by 12.
And Jackson, a starter in almost half of his games during the regular season. And, you know, he showed some good signs of development in year 3, improving his scoring and his three-point shooting.
Here's Middleton, and that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds.
So we got a moment now to check out the story on Reggie Jackson. How the last month of basketball was for him. He's getting around 12 points a game, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. And he's really been pulling his weight. I mean, we're finding his name in a lot of different columns in their box scores.
Yeah, and that's what they're looking for from him, Steve. He doesn't have to be the star, just somebody with solid contributions across a wide range of areas.
And there's the foul against Milwaukee. Nick Collison's checked in for Oklahoma City. Walters, he's checked in for Milwaukee. Here's Jackson. Drains the three-pointer. Jackson's got 5 now.
And Jackson upping his rate of assists last season. He still has to work on his assist-to-turnover ratio a bit. But as a guy who can score and pass, he's a great fit as a combo guard for OKC.
Now, here is Knight. Defense right on him. He feeds it to Parker. Another shot, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
And now look at Brandon Knight here, showing up amongst the best. They love what they've seen from him the last couple of weeks. 6th in assists. And he's been locked in from behind the arc, guys. He's in the top 20 in the NBA in three-point field goal percentage.
And, you know, looking again, Steve, at his place among the top 10 assist men, he's been providing a lot of room service dimes to his teammates, and I hope they appreciate it. Jabari Parker, a self-described obedient kid growing up in Chicago, maintained a 3.7 GPA through high school. He went so far as to say he had lower self-esteem in his younger days. You don't often hear about that from NBA athletes, but it's a reality. Believe me, I see these guys, and they often aren't as confident as you might think. But there's no reason for this guy to doubt his worth now, especially on a basketball court.
Now here's Adams. And Oklahoma City again with the bucket. Bucks trail by 15. Now, here is Knight. 15 points in the game. Parker drives in, and the shot is good. Parker's got 4 points now in the quarter. And as humble as Jabari Parker seems off the court, Clark, he seems like one of those guys who flips a switch when he steps on the floor. Great motor, terrific hunger, real competitive.
Yeah, extremely competitive and confident and assertive. And with his talent, and you add those attributes, you've got a guy that looks like he could be a potential all-star someday.
Here's Walters, Knight on the wing, clock at 6. Thunder with the rebound. The open shot from Jackson. That falls. Great assist by Sebastian Telfair. Telfair's got 3 assists now in this one. Bucks trail by 15. Knight dishes to Walters. Stolen by Jackson. And the Thunder pushing it up now. That's good. Telfair's got 5 points so far. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for the Thunder.
Boy, defensively, they've played with a high energy level, guys, and all the steals we've seen, really a result of that aggressiveness.
They've worked hard tonight at crashing the boards as well. They've had a bunch of second chance points.
Well, Jabari Parker, considered by many to be the most NBA-ready of any rookies. The son of an NBA player, he's got a great IQ for the game, can shoot, pass, and great character, too. He's humble, grounded, and very committed.
Well, and Parker, maybe the most skilled and well-rounded freshman in college basketball last year. He played a number of positions. Clark, where do you like him best? You watched a lot of film on him. Small forward, power forward, what's his fit?
I really think he's just a forward. You look at the opposition you're facing, where do you have the best advantage with him? His conditioning level has to be at the highest level for him to be most effective. But I love his overall package. He can drive, he can put it on the floor, he can shoot it, he can rebound. And I think he's going to be better defensively as long as he commits to conditioning his body.
Now here's Jackson. He has 7, down to 5 on the shot clock. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. Bucks trail by 15. Here's Walters. It's hauled in by Adams. Adams has got his 3rd rebound tonight. Westbrook with it, and it's Knight picking him up, and stolen by Knight. And here's the fast break. Knight leading the way.
Boy, I tell you what, the complexion of this game would be completely different if he'd shot the ball anything like he's capable of.
Boy, he is a strong finisher on the fast break.
Yeah, he sure is. He remains in total control even at full speed. I love that about him.
Here's Westbrook, rips down the breakaway slam.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Yeah, they've done a great job causing havoc and then taking advantage in transition offensively.
Now, here is Knight. 15 points in the game. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Ran his man straight into that screen to open the lane up for the hoop.
John Henson building on the promise of his rookie year, Steve, more than doubling his minutes last season.
Yeah, continuing that strong production. You know, he upped his field goal percentage, 6th in the league in blocks per game, and the length and athleticism and range to one day become, I think, an elite defender.
Now here's Westbrook. 13 points in the game. Morrill kicks to Collison. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
Well, I tell you what, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders. They're not getting the job done.
Yeah, that's 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed on good looks right at the rim.
Here's Middleton.
I like the call. I thought the defense was moving there.
Yeah, I think he slid underneath. Good blocking call that trip.
First trip to the line for him here.
At the line for Bucks, Chris Middleton. Taking 2 shots.
First one falls for him. And the Thunder making a switch here. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. And here comes Westbrook, averaging 22 points a game. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Thunder lead by 17. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return.
This Wednesday, December 10th, Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers go up against Paul George and the Indiana Pacers. Be there.
Oklahoma City leading by 17. Ibaka at the 4 with Perkins at the pivot. Russell Westbrook out there with Jackson. And it's Thomas in at the small forward spot. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Now here's Westbrook. Shot clock at 6. Perkins. Second shot opportunity. And Westbrook lays it in. Westbrook's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Thunder. Here's Sanders. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time. Knight's got 3 assists tonight.
How about the delivery in the lane? Just perfectly done.
Outside Westbrook. Ibaka in the post. Working on Ilyasova. That one goes. Count it.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
And even if it costs them some foul trouble, I mean, they need to start putting some bodies on bodies. Be physical.
Thomas kicks to Westbrook. Back to Thomas. Ibaka against Sanders. The jump hook, and it's Ibaka with the bucket inside. Ibaka's got 24.
Wow, such a steady hand. He's the one responsible for getting them this late lead.
Can't argue with that at all, Steve. His shooting percentage has been off the charts.
Here's Walters. Here's Antetokounmpo. Knight with it, and the foul called on Brandon Knight. That is his first foul of the game.
When you see somebody having a game like this from a turnover standpoint, it's almost impossible to win as a team.
Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. And here's Jackson. Now the dish to Thomas. Now the Bucks moving it up. Ball going up court. That's good.
He's done a ton to help his team, guys, and he may have to do more if they're going to come back and win.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. Oklahoma City leading by 19. Now Perkins. He kicks it to Westbrook. Just 5 to shoot. Second chance shot, and Serge Ibaka again. Ibaka's got 26.
Boy, this team has really been on the offensive glass here in the second half, doing an outstanding job. And that's one of the reasons they're on top.
To the paint. Here's Antetokounmpo. Soft touch off the glass.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They sure are. That's 3 straight buckets that have come off of assists.
Outside Westbrook. Out left to the wing. Thomas gets a wide open look. The three-pointer no good. Bucks trail by 19. And Ilyasova kicks to Antetokounmpo. Pushing it up. Near the three-point line, it's Thomas, and misses it off the right side of the rim. The Bucks have gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the fourth quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. That's good. Antetokounmpo's got 4 points now in the quarter. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Westbrook kicks to Jackson. Outside Thomas. Again, Thomas missing.
Remember, he was hot early. 3 three-pointers in the first half, but he may have to start putting the ball on the floor. His shot's not working here in the second.
With that reverse jam, the fans got a little extra show there.
That one definitely had something, you're right, extra on it.
That was one of those 3 or 4 plays that you see every night in an NBA game that just leaves you in awe.
Here's Thomas after the basket by Milwaukee, and he gets it to go. And the Thunder lead by 17. For Milwaukee, they've gotten every shot they've taken so far in the fourth quarter to go win. That's 5 in a row to start the quarter. After a 2012-13 season in which Larry Sanders received the 3rd most votes for most improved in the league, not to mention a 4-year, $44 million extension from the Bucks. Yeah, Steve, a lot was expected last season.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot was not delivered. Injuries and various off-the-court issues kind of made it a season to forget for Sanders. So this year will be one of redemption. He needs to find that form from a couple of years ago.
And Sanders, tearing a ligament in his thumb during an off-the-court scuffle early in the season, it cost him 6 weeks. And he just put together his best game of the season when a stray elbow fractured his right orbital bone and put him out of commission once again. Tough break. Some of it self-inflicted, some of it bad luck.
Now, here's Thomas. Drains the 19-footer. Thomas got 19 points.
When he scores buckets like that, Kevin, it just shows that he can bring some of that X factor for his team.
Pass to Walters. That's good. The assist that time from Knight.
And for Sanders, the injury's unfortunate. I think some of the off-the-court decision-making issues were even more of a concern for the Bucks. They've made him a big part of their future, and they're hoping they can rely on him moving forward.
Thomas passes to Ibaka. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Well, going back a few seasons, the Thunder with a great young foundation, but they were faced with some tough financial decisions. In the end, Serge Ibaka was extended, James Harden was traded. Now most would argue that Harden is the better player, but of course, as far as fit is concerned, Ibaka, I think, was the right choice because of his defensive prowess.
The first one falls. And Serge Ibaka, Clark, a player that every team in the NBA covets. Stretch 4 with 3-point range, who also blocks shots, and he can play some center too.
Kevin, that's a very unique skill set he has. I mean, actually, he might be the only player in the league who truly fits that description you just laid out.
Ibaka hits both of them.
You know, last year the Bucks knew that to make the playoffs would be a real stretch. Strange, kind of, when you consider the year before, 2013, they had gotten to the playoffs, but it just goes to show you things change quickly in the NBA.
Late reaction from the defense, and he's always going to make good on that.
Outside Westbrook. Morrow dishes to Thomas. Outside Westbrook. Morrow kicks to Thomas. Just 5 on the clock. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. Well, as you guys are talking about, the winds of change can stir things up in a hurry in the NBA. And the Bucks are hoping things can change for the better, Steve, just as fast.
Well, luckily, with the pick they got and the changes they made, I mean, they're in a much better position this year. The postseason's still probably a stretch, but, you know, not completely out of the question in the Eastern Conference.
Now here's Ilyasova. Kicks it to Knight. Here's Walters. Clock at 6. Here's Antetokounmpo. Good.
Just seems like they're finding an open lane to the hoop every time down. That's 5 buckets in a row for them in the paint.
Yeah, on the flip side, Steve, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior.
Here's Morrow. Fades away. It's Ibaka. That time on the assist by Morrow.
That was a beautiful fadeaway. Knocked it down with the defender right in his grill.
Up top, Knight. In low to Sanders. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
The Thunder leading by 14. Westbrook kicks to Morrow. Knight against Westbrook. Here's Morrow. 6 on the shot clock. For 3. It's hauled in by Ilyasova.
Very little success for him behind the arc today. Just 1 3-pointer in the first half and still none in the second.
And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds. Oklahoma City's gone 0-3 so far in the 4th quarter from long range. Westbrook passes to Thomas. The jump hook, and it's Ibaka getting it to go. Ibaka's got 12 now in this quarter.
He has really put his foot on the pedal this quarter, doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee.
Well, what an incredible journey it's been for Serge Ibaka. Growing up in the Congo during a terrible civil war, the tragic loss of his mom to a stroke, the streets so unsafe that she couldn't leave the home to go to a hospital. To go from that to where he is now, man, an indescribable contrast and an amazing story.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Now here's Ilyasova. Sanders dishes to Antetokounmpo. Just 5 to shoot. And it comes off the front of the rim. And Ibaka planned as a youth to escape the Congo and find a way to provide for his family.
Well, and it's a big family, too. I mean, he's the third youngest of 18 brothers and sisters. Pretty incredible. And now he's not just helping them, but he's making a huge difference for thousands of people throughout Africa, supporting orphanages, hospitals, schools. I mean, what great work Ibaka is doing.
Ilyasova, a screen on Thomas. Antetokounmpo kicks to Sanders, and he gets it to go. Sanders has got 9 points here in the second half.
All the points these defenders are allowing inside is inexcusable. That's 5 baskets in a row, and they've all been practically lay-ins.
Yeah, they've got to harden and toughen up down there, guys.
Now here's Westbrook. He dishes it to Perkins, and stolen by Knight. The pass to Antetokounmpo, and there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. A statement victory for the Thunder.
And the big difference here was accuracy behind the three-point line, Clark.
Well, they started spraying them from deep, and then it spread out the defense, and they had all the looks they wanted.
And so this will mark the 15th win of the year for them.
Well, they've had this team's number all season. 2 wins in 2 meetings. Doesn't seem to matter what building they play in.
Yeah, I thought the result might be different this time around, but clearly I was mistaken. I mean, now they'll have to wait until next year for a shot at revenge.
And you have to look back at this and see what a huge game it's been for Ibaka. He came out and let everybody know that points would be hard to come by with the way he swatted away shots and protected the rim.
A nice shot by Knight. It's stolen by Antetokounmpo.
And nothing you can do to salvage this one at this point. Game over.
Not anymore. Any chance they had is gone.
Now here's Westbrook. Lets it go from 14. No good from Perkins. They can score it here, but it won't mean much.
No, not at all. Not a real chance of getting back in it at this point.
Yeah. Steve, you think it's over?
No, it's over. This lead is just too much for them to deal with.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. They're behind by 7. There's 14 seconds left in the game. Guys, what do you think?
Well, talk all they want, but I just don't see a way for them to get back into the game here.
You know what? I don't know if there's a 10-point play out there. And that being the case, this one is finished. Over.
There's 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Middleton, and it's off from three-point range. Here is Telfair. Now the feed to Morrow. A shot's good. Telfair making the play.
And the fans loving what's transpired here tonight. A really good victory for these guys.
Sure was. I mean, they did just what they needed to do to keep the visitors from getting any momentum going at all.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, talk all they want, but I just don't see a way for them to get back into the game here.
You know what? I don't know if there's a 10-point play out there. And that being the case, this one is finished. Over.
Here's Marshall. Misses there. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, guys, I'm here with Russell Westbrook. And, Russell, obviously the fans were loving this win here tonight. What was your mindset coming into this particular matchup?
Well, just trying to come out and play our game. We're a good team, especially at home. We did a good job of playing team ball tonight.
The fans were delighted, Russell. Thank you so much. Guys, back to you.
Doris, thank you. And for Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, and the rest of our great 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us as Jordan presents our player of the game, Serge Ibaka.
So the Thunder win that game. Final score 110-100. They see Ibaka, 32 points for him, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Not so much dominant on defense there as he has been in the last couple of games. But there you see the rest of the numbers for the other Thunder players. They're definitely doing a great job here, stepping up here as we get ready for Durant's return here very, very soon here, hopefully sooner than later. But there you see the Brandon Knight. There you see 19 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists for him. But the guy that we could have had a tough time here, there you see Larry Sanders there, 15 points, 12 rebounds there. Just doing a great job of waxing the boards there, both offensively and defensively. So we definitely had a tough time with him. He got his double-double. He had 2 steals and 2 blocks there. So, but we just did enough to get the win there and win that one by 10. Of course, the Bucks are a young team. One of the better up and young coming young teams here that have been making the playoffs here the last couple of years. That definitely have a chip on their shoulder and definitely have that playoff potential type team. They just need maybe a few more players here and more importantly, more experience to get them into being a championship caliber team. But there you see this box scores there. You guys can check those out and see what we did for both teams here when it comes to time possession, turnovers, and so on and so forth. But a great win there as we win by 10 there. So now we're starting off pretty good here. As like I said, last 10 games we were split 5-5. So now we go ahead and take a look here. We have a rest day here coming up, and we're going to go ahead and sim through that, get the guys rested up as we stay at home here. And we got the Cavaliers coming up, so we got LeBron and company here. LeBron, Kevin Love, and Irving coming into town in the next episode. But we'll take a look at some social media here, see what's going on. You got Rondo there. Probably not liking right now. I think he's still with the Celtics here in this game, and probably not liking the way they're playing right now, just like he did in real life. But just take a look here. Some people just tweeting about what's going on in the league right now, and what's been the hot topic right now. Of course, Serge Ibaka, 32 points from him tonight, and I'm sure that's being tweeted all over social media there on Facebook and Twitter. So we'll take a look here, and we'll get some team stats here, and I believe we get a chance to talk to Kevin Durant. There you see right there, and he wants to increase his training intensity. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that. Maybe he'll come back a little sooner here, as we'll go have a little chat here with him, talk to him, and just go ahead and tell him, yeah, you know what, we're going to go ahead and increase your time here when it comes to intensity. So I think we have it at medium or something. I think we're going to bump it up to the next intensity level so we can get him coming back strong here and hopefully get him to play lights out here coming up here in a game here soon. So we'll take a look here. I believe there you go. Kevin Durant there. Look at intensity. We have it at medium. So we'll go ahead and put it up at high. And so he'll be, hopefully be excited about coming back and start dominating again like he has been. He's been out quite a few games here. So he got a lot of work to catch up here. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing, I believe, to Perry Jones. We'll increase his intensity when it comes to working out for rehabbing. And then same thing for Jeremy Lamb here coming up before we wrap up this episode. So there you see, we'll go ahead and bump up their intensity to their workouts and whatnot, and hopefully shed some time off them and come back maybe a week earlier than expected. So there we take a look here. There you see 15-5 for the Cavaliers. There you see they're on a 2-game winning streak here. We have not played them at all this season yet, so this is the first time we'll face them here in the next episode. So coming up, it's a home game against the Cavs as LeBron is coming into OKC to play us here. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Also, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe for more NBA 2K15 MyGM with the Oklahoma City Thunder franchise here on ESGNet. I hope you guys enjoyed the series. I've been really enjoying playing these games here, and I hope to bring out more for you guys if you guys want to continue watching these. So definitely come on back for another episode, you guys. As always, keep yourselves and each other healthy, and I will see you guys next time.